Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Toon review, where this afternoon, we're doing the match review of what we've just witnessed. Newcastle United 3, 1860 Munchen 0, with what I can only describe as one of the worst commentaries I have ever heard in the history of mankind.
The Barry Chuckle of commentators, wasn't he? He was absolutely dreadful.
Oh, God almighty. Danielle, what did you think of the commentary, first of all?
Well, who's Joseph Willock? That's what I would like to know.
Well, I think everybody's wanting to know
who. Bossman, even?
Bossman, yeah. Bossman. But any standout for you today, Danielle?
I thought Elliot Anderson did well. I thought, who else? I thought Sean Longstaff's goal was a cracker. Absolutely belter goal that was. Sven Botman, brilliant. Much better second. Definitely a game of two halves. The first half, yes. I was feeling a little bit like, what the hell's happening here? Second half, just absolutely class. So, feel much better now than I did first half.
Alex, it was a pretty drab first 40-odd minutes, it has to be said. And we did get going second half, there's no doubt about it. But again, some just little things that we sort of picked up on during the first half. And let's not forget, this is a friendly against what is, the German equivalent of a League One side. They're playing the third tier of Germany. But I saw Danielle and both myself as well getting frustrated when Maxi going down and staying down for no reason to. But there was one opportunity for him to cross in the first half, which was a bit disappointing. He tried to dribble, he lost the ball a couple of times. But it's all about fitness now, isn't it? I mean, blending in with new teammates. But we did look a very, very different side when he changed the 11.
Yeah. I mean, it's a funny one. I wouldn't quite go. I wouldn't really think Maxi needs to be talked about in terms of why that first half was poor.
No, it wasn't him. No, it wasn't him.
This is exactly how he plays. He always does it. He's annoying. He runs into traffic. He'll choose the wrong option. It's his game. But then he'll play a killer ball that should have been an assist that Willock missed from 3 yards out.
Yeah, sure he did.
So it's just how he's always played. It's how he always will play. To be fair, we've got to take the good with the bad from him. It was just more. Yeah, shape. I mean, we were all right for a little while, and then as soon as they discovered that Shelvey was going to dictate everything, and Willock and Murphy were struggling to keep, whenever the ball came to them with any sort of pace on it, it was just ricocheting around. So as soon as they kind of cottoned on to, we were trying to use John Joe Perlo, just shut it all down.
John Joe Perlo.
To be fair, there was like a 15-minute period where he was very, very tidy.
Some of the passes he was playing outside of his foot out of Maxi was tremendous.
He's high energy, his press. If we can get a couple of better midfielders with him for the season, we might see some magical stuff. We'll see.
Absolutely. Doug, thank you for your £5 super chat, matey, and congratulations again on your marriage last week or 2 weeks ago, wherever it was now. Flying by. Happy birthday, Billy. Just catching up from everyone's stream since coming back from Greece. Keep up the good work, Paul. Thank you very much. And Ian Fleming, thank you very much for your £20 super chat as well. Ian, I have messaged you actually because you've ordered a phone case and you've only put that your model is a Samsung. I need to know what model of Samsung it is because there's lots of them. Now, I've had to go back and redo the website this morning because we can only do, apparently, iPhone, Samsung, and Huawei at the moment cases. The full list is on the website, but please do put your full phone model into the special instructions in the cart because I don't know what it is. It's a Samsung. So if you can reply to my email, Ian, and let me know, buddy, so we know which one to order you. Steve says, did anyone else find that commentator really annoying? He couldn't even pronounce the club captain's name properly. All I got from that first half was Schlechelbachen, whoever the guy was for Munich. Really piss poor commentary. I mean, he literally, Alex, I think you made a comment in the first half on our group chat that he was just sitting in front of Wikipedia, and he blatantly was.
Yeah.
One
5 seconds behind each phase of play, and just reading facts out.
Oh,
there was one moment where Maxi went down and he said the Newcastle bench looked very concerned, and they cut to the bench and
they were all giggling,
killing themselves laughing.
Yeah. And he still thinks Nick Pope played the full 90 minutes, which is bizarre.
And it took him 11 minutes to realise that Lascelles wasn't playing and Botman was.
Yes.
Which I thought was strange.
Ridiculous. Mawson, thank you very much for your 50 Real. Very, very kind of you. Thank you so much for that. Billy, have you got your mic on, or are you using the computer's mic?
No, I've got the mic on. Hang on.
I'm not sure it's working.
Yeah, it sounds like they outsourced that commentator because of he was pronouncing
outsourced
German very well. So I don't think he's a typical.
It was just his phrases. It was coming out like lean like a cat.
Yeah, exactly. Botman lean like a cat. Like what? Who says that?
Slightly, yeah.
If he's a fan and he's part of the club, then I apologise. But it was.
You just sound very sorry, Alex. You just sound very distant-y, Billy. Just. I don't know whether you've got your mic settings on right. Have you got the that's a bit better. Have you got the dial on the back turned to the right one where it's just on completely facing you?
Yeah, I haven't touched the back at all. It's just
it's a bit better.
That's better.
Volume up a bit. What about now?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, cool. Charles says, why didn't the owners let us who don't live in Britain or Saudi Arabia watch the match? A bit angry about that, to be honest. Look, I don't know. I don't know what the situation is or why it changed. For all accounts, it was going ahead on YouTube this morning. There was no problems, and then around about 2 hours before the kickoff, we hear that it's not going live on YouTube. It's going live on the website. Billy, I don't know if you know any different to me. It was strange, wasn't it?
Yeah, very odd how they took it off YouTube and just put it on the. Well, it was very odd, and it was very last minute as well, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should do a watch along on Monday for the second game.
Well, look, it's going to be, look, if it's going to be that situation, then I will do a watch along. There's no doubt about that. Because
I'm rather angry about that how they've handled it. It's similar with Castore, because this is the first time we've seen Botman on the pitch, as a globe, whether it's a global audience, new. Anybody watching that, it's the first time we've seen him, and it was nobody mentioned he was on the pitch until 11 minutes after he was brought on. And it's going forward, we're missing opportunities to promote the club and to share moments, and that's his first time in the black and white. If he stays with us for 10 years, in 10 years' time, when we go watch these moments back, that's his first time in a black and white shirt, and it was poor from the commentary, and he shouldn't be used again. It was poor.
It was hell on earth to listen to. It really was. Josh says, I was a little disappointed Anderson didn't stick out more. I thought he was all right, Anderson.
I thought you started well in the first half. I thought you did okay. Yeah, I think.
I mean, let's be honest. They were leaving the foot in a little bit as well.
Yeah, possibly.
1860, and then I think in the second half, Joe Linton had enough of it and just decided to get his own back with what was a fierce tackle, to say the least. But you know what? It's one of these games where it's the first real preseason test of the season. You know, where Gateshead was a good run out. This was a little different in certainly more heat. And getting the fitness up, but also some of the football that we played when we changed that first 11 to the second 11. I thought Bruno was just, that guy just is incredible.
Show, didn't he?
And Joe Linton. Holding the ball up, turning, like nice little passes, great to watch. And then when Botman went to the, Cher came on and Botman went to the left centre back. My God, his passing, 2-footed as well, which is just outstanding. But my God, Billy, he's a unit.
Absolutely, he's just huge, isn't he? It's impossible to get past. Or you'd think there's some fantastic defending from him also, where he kind of blocked crosses and he's not short of pace either. He may look slow, but those long legs stretch out, and he covers the ground pretty rapidly. And the passing ability is absolutely phenomenal. Some of the balls he was spraying out with, it's just something we haven't seen before from a centre half for a long time, anyway.
Charles is asking to do what? Do you know what? I think I will do a watch along on Monday. I think it's, some of the guys that can't watch it will still get commentary from myself, which will be better than the commentary. I can guarantee if it's the same bloke, I can guarantee it'll be better commentary than what you've just heard.
I don't think it will be the same bloke, because he kind of said at the end, didn't he, that we wish Newcastle United all the best for the forthcoming season.
Well, I turned it off by then, so I don't know.
I don't think it's going to be the same glow.
Very excited to see what Joe Willock can do this season, says Ian.
Will Lock.
Yes, our new signing, Will Lock, took his goal very well. It has to be said. Finished it off very nicely. Gallagher says, I got slightly stressed earlier, thinking we may not get Paquetty and Diaby. Then remembered we could quite easily got relegated instead of worrying about transfers like that. Life is good. How are the lads? Anyone know what time kickoff is? Well, you've missed it, mate. So Pope was substituted by Pope. Yes. Pope came on for Pope, apparently. Luke says, does Pope wearing the number 22 mean that Dubravka is starting as our number 1? No. Simply because, Dubravka has the number 1 shirt. He's not going to rip it off Dubravka. It doesn't mean that he's going to start. I'm convinced Nick Pope will start the Forest game. I think he looked very assured today in the little that he had to do. Made a very good save from the free kick, of course. So I think I do genuinely think Nick Pope will be our starter. I've thought that since we signed him. Are any of you guys thinking any different?
I think Dubravka will start.
Do you?
Interesting. I just think Dubravka. I don't know. I just prefer Dubravka at the moment. I haven't seen a lot of Pope, so that's what I think. But we've got a couple of friendlies coming up. We'll see. We'll see how we go on.
I think they did it the wrong way round. I would have preferred to have seen Pope in that second half, because then it would have allowed us to see some sweeper potential as we were playing with a higher line. Unless he just wanted to see if Nick Pope could clean up after Lascelles' numerous messes.
We might see that in the next game.
Likewise, I would have liked to have seen Wilson in the second half as well. Pope, I think they got them the wrong way around. Maybe they wanted to look at different things. But
it might change on Monday. But listen, I was thinking that through the second half. I thought, God, I'd love to see Callum Wilson up front with these guys. Because for me, nothing has changed with Chris Wood. He looks a little bit leaner, but my God, he's just. I mean, yes, he did well, pulled the goal back for Bruno's finish. But again, when the ball comes up to him, he's nowhere to be seen. He can't hold the ball up for nothing. And Jamal Lascelles, I'm sorry, but he is nowhere near a starting 11 with the players we have in the squad now. No. Absolutely nowhere near.
That's abundantly clear.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure Eddie Howe says to him, hit areas, hit certain areas. Don't be kind of accurate, but he's hitting wrong postcodes at times. Some of the passes absolutely unbelievable.
He can't pass. He can't tackle. He's a liability. That's what he is. You look at the difference and how assured Fabian Schär looked, how assured Dan Burn looks. Botman, he's not even close to these guys.
I thought Shaw and Botman played together so well.
I did as well. I thought they looked very, very good together.
All of those people talking about left foot, play Burn and Botman. I know it's a small sample, but how balanced was that when it was Botman and Schär? So balanced.
And I think Botman looked comfortable on the left-hand side as well, rather than he did when he first came on. Yeah. But listen, Botman is clearly a two-footed footballer. He was pinging the ball around with right and left foot. So that does give Eddie Howe a good option. That we're not going to get into any danger should Botman have to go onto the right-hand side. It doesn't make a difference too much. But he did look more comfortable, certainly moving onto the left-hand side. Zishan, thank you very much for your $8.99 super chat. He says, what was that commentary, man? By the way, happy birthday, Billy. We'll definitely see you at Club Heat at the arcade tonight.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
Jason says, Kraft will be so good with the better players around him this season. I thought Kraft did okay. Listen, the Trippier is going to be the right back to start the season. There's no doubt about that. But to have a player of Kraft's, the way he's come on, I'm sure it's not a worry to many people now that if, Trippier has to miss the odd game, we do have a really good deputy in Emil Kraft. Wagner says, yeah, I watched through VPN in Brazil. Well done. We want the Statman back.
He's back.
He's back. Are you blind?
Yeah.
Jock says he got very confused when we bought on half the team.
It was class.
Alex, that commentator clearly didn't have a clue about Newcastle United players, did he?
No.
He didn't have a clue.
No, he's clearly been sourced because he knows, maybe he's researched Bundesliga teams, or because his pronunciation was very, very tidy for all the languages. Well, apart from when he just got the name right, he got more English names wrong than he did the other names, which was odd. And it was just a shame because I would have liked to have heard proper commentary about shape changes. There was no mention of formation. There was no mention of centre backs changing side. There was no. It was just very bog standard, just very blanket commentary, and I wanted football commentary, and it just wasn't. Fair enough, he had to drop in some historical commentary about.
Yeah, but the guy even said we played in the Intertoto Cup against them last year.
Man.
I mean, Christ, how long ago was the Intertoto bloody cup? I mean, come on.
I think he was the head of the Romford Tourist Board, to be honest.
Well, he certainly mentioned that John Joe Shelby was at Romford numerous times in that first half. Absolute numerous times. It was ridiculous. Carl says, Botman looked good. The team after 60 minutes gave us a lot to be excited about. I agree. I think a lot of those players in the second team that came on after 60 minutes are going to be starters. And it's certainly exciting the way they were getting the ball and moving it forward very quickly. You know, again, the wings, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think, you know, Jacob Murphy did all right first half, but, you know, I think...
I don't think he did.
Well...
I thought he was terrible. Awful. He was good in the first 3 minutes.
I thought he flattered to deceive, personally.
I thought, well, hey, difference of opinions, that's fine. But what I'm saying is we still need to improve the right-hand side because Miggy did all right when he came on as well. But... again, you know, we need an out-and-out right-sided player. I think, you know, I'm not, to be honest, I'm not going to be too harsh on most of the players today because it was the first pre-season real test.
I think you've had a Sinclair there.
No, I haven't because I'm not going to.
And then you've said Miggy's done a read. And I thought that it was night and day difference in performances. Miggy was outstanding.
Well, Miggy wasn't outstanding, Alex. He wasn't outstanding. You can't see he was outstanding. You can't.
He rubbed the ball back a bunch. He led the press. And it was integral to the energy we used in the second half. It was integral to Bruno's goal. He was everywhere.
Yeah, well, he wasn't. I can't see. He wasn't
pressing with no purpose like he used to. He wasn't just running about willy-nilly. He was running about with a plan.
Listen, I'll agree to that because I think it does help Miggy when he's got Bruno, etc., on the pitch with him. Because you said that last season, Alex, the combination between Miggy and Bruno was definitely improved. From when Miggy is on the pitch without Bruno. So yeah, I think that they seem to coordinate really well with each other. Yeah. And I think Joe Linton helps with that as well. Although Joe Linton seemed to be more helping out Fraser on the left-hand side in the second half. But it was still exciting. And what I'm saying is I still think, though, we need to improve the right-hand side. We need to get somebody in. If we start the season with Fraser Miggy, I'd be worried. But listen, I'm willing to give Miggy a go on the right-hand side if that's what it needs to be, because I think, you know, if he combines with Bruno like he's been doing, I think, you know, we've got an option there for certain. But I don't think Miggy's not an out-and-out right-sided player, is he? So we've got to bring somebody in. I don't trust Chris.
I think we will.
I think we will as well. I mean, you know, obviously the numbnuts on, you know, on Twitter, etc., demanding XYZ from the owners. I think it will be improved on. It has to be.
The difference was Miggy didn't play as a straight out right undecided player. He floated. He looked better when he came inside. Whereas Murphy did stick to the right wing and was very underwhelming there when he was. Miggy was all over the place.
Look, I'm saying he was okay because simply it was
I wouldn't say he was outstanding personally. I wouldn't say he was outstanding. I thought he was a lot better than Murphy.
That's fair enough. But I'm saying Murphy, I'm not going to criticize him too much because, you know, it's pre-season, first game, blah, blah, blah. But yes, I'll agree that Miggy was better, undoubtedly. But what I'm saying is we've got to improve that right-hand side. And 100%. Striker probably worries me as well, you know, because if anything happens to Wilson, you know, it doesn't leave us much option. Because it leaves us with Chris Wood, who we know is simply not good enough.
It's a lamppost.
And once again, near post run would have got him a goal today.
Yeah.
Runs to the back post and keep caught it.
He doesn't say, the problem is with Chris Wood, he doesn't seem to have any awareness of where he is when he's in the box. He doesn't make the runs, and I'm sure that's because he sort of doesn't realise where he is or where he's got to go. Yeah, you look at Callum Wilson, and he's complete opposite. He's making runs in the channels. He's making runs near post, back post, and causing the defenders all sorts of trouble. But again, it's very quiet on the striker front and transfer wise at the minute.
We definitely need one. Without any shadow of a doubt, another striker.
I mean, would those be the two positions that you guys would look for? Is striker and right wing? Are those the two that we really need to look at now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think today's game's proved that. I think we're okay midfield. Would love to see Paqueta, but that's a different story. I don't think there's an absolute need for a midfielder, but we definitely need a winger and a striker. Definitely.
Alex?
I'm leaning more and more to the side of Paqueta now because of the way Almiron played today and has been playing. When he's out on the right, he's not out on the right. He just leads the press and floats, and he's where he needs to be. And he's energetic enough to get back defensively, and he dropped the ball back a couple of times. He's very, very good. And I think Paqueta can do the same. I think he can float right-sided, but he's not a complete winger. He's more of a midfielder. And I think it would mirror the way Almiron would play to a lot better than Almiron, obviously.
Yeah.
So I think that makes more sense than going just for a flat winger. I would, and striker, of course, because I think Wood will be fine purely based on there's just going to be so much more quality around him, and he'll just get, like he got the assist today, that will just happen in games, and he'll get numbers, and people say, oh, he's doing all right. But when push comes to shove, we've proven that we need more goals next season. If we're going to try and look at up the table, if we're going to try and progress to like 55, 60 goals scored, it's not going to happen with Chris Wood up front. So he's going to be okay, but it's not okay is not enough anymore. If Wilson's injured, we're in a little bit of trouble. So
Wood will work as an option off the bench, Tony. Wood will work as an option off the bench. What we need is someone similar to Wilson to back him up in case he's injured.
Definitely.
Is my mind better now? I've just changed it.
It sounds perfect, that Billy. Much better. What the hell were you doing it with before?
Somehow the settings changed in stream. I haven't done it. It's changed to a different mic. So yeah, the first time I didn't change it.
I always check StreamYard first because it always knocks my mic off. I have to put it back on again, make sure it's the right one. But look, it's a 3-0 win. It's a comfortable win in the end, and I think it was a very good game for Newcastle and the whole squad. Really, I was amazed at how many staff Newcastle United seemed to have. They were dotted like
everyone, didn't they?
Jesus, I mean, they had a lot of staff. But look, that's obviously what goes on behind the scenes. You know, there was a lot of people working away, making sure that that they'll have everybody there: sports scientists, nutritionists, and all sorts of people. I've just seen a comment there asking what the man bras were, what they wear in training. They're not man bras; they monitor heart rate, etc. For the fitness. Some players actually wear them in a game in the Premier League, so under the shirts, and it's just to keep an eye on heart rate and distance covered and things like that.
They monitor a lot nowadays.
Yeah.
It's more than I thought. Actually, they're very, very advanced.
Yeah, it is heart rate though, isn't it? One of the main ones, and sort of distance covered.
Yeah, it'll be all the general stuff as well. They've gone for people who sort of try to challenge stats and data. The fact that they all wear them in training, and a lot of them, as you said, you're right. That a lot of them actually wear them in real matches now under the shirts.
Because I remember it just used to be pre-season, and now when they take the shirts off at the end of the game, there's a lot of them have them on underneath.
I've been wearing them for years.
All the clubs collect their own black box data, and they've got their own private stats in far more detail than we've got access to.
Yeah, absolutely. Peter Furbank, thank you for your £4.49 super chat. He says, if we let Arsenal buy Lucas Paqueta, I think we have missed a gem. Can't let that happen. I'm still convinced he will come to Newcastle. If he comes to the Premier League, he comes to Newcastle. I'm still convinced on that. Are you guys swaying any bit towards Arsenal, or do you still believe firmly? Because I know, Billy, you've been saying, him and Diaby are possibly the two that will come in. Danielle, you've been very much for Paqueta.
Diaby for me.
Diaby, yes. But Alex, you've been pushing Paqueta a long time. I can't see him going to Arsenal. I just can't.
I mean, the word on the street is
he
prefers us, isn't he? He prefers it.
Yeah,
where his
I heard
preference.
that.
Yeah. I love Diaby. I just think what I've seen today, what we saw in the final few games of the season, it just makes a little bit more sense. It's more balanced and it copies what Miggy offers. It just makes a little bit more sense. Diaby's outrageous talented, but it's. I just think it's a better move. But I'm not a professional, so.
Wagner says Joe Linton was really good, but I think if he could potentially get a red card in the Premier League if he did something like that tackle.
We've seen that from Joe before. Like he just sees red, doesn't he? And then acts before he thinks. We've seen him in referees' faces. We've seen it all in the. But I'm here for it, me. I'm here for it.
Let's be honest. Before he did that, they were leaving their foot in every single challenge. And after he did it, they didn't do it once. So Joe Linton was putting his mark on the game, saying you don't do that shit anymore. I'm on the pitch now, and then fair play to him.
I mean, look, he's. I know that Joe Linton seems to have this newfound, Alex-inspired red meat challenge. And he just sort of he goes in. And listen, I haven't got a problem with it, to be honest. And I think Danielle, your words were like, "I'm all for it," just as long as he's careful. He's got. There is just if he makes strong tackles, Danielle, just make sure that they're fair.
Absolutely. And I think I remember Alex last season was saying we need to be really careful with this, that he's not going to, go to the other end of the spectrum and end up getting a red card. And, I remember you saying that, Alex.
Didn't get one. I'm very shocked he didn't get like a red card at some point in that second half. He was fortunate not to because he pushed it a few times.
But I guess it's something that we don't want to take away from Joe Linton now because we see this kind of aggression in him. And yes, I think it's going to get him the odd yellow card along that. Well, the odd yellow, quite a few yellows, but it's improved as his game's improved. So as the aggression level has gone up. So I think it's finding a fine balance, and I think that's what Eddie Howe and Tyndall have to do. But at the same time, it's great to see that revigorated Joe Linton who takes no shit. He just goes in and he'll also stick up for his teammates, etc. And I love it, mate. I absolutely love it.
I'm here for
such a balanced press. If they look behind them, Joe Linton's going to smash them. If they look in front of them, Miggy's just going to pinch it because they just swamp them. Or if they switch off Bruno or Robert, they're just the press is very, very well put together when we've got the right players on the pitch. As it was at Arsenal, it's just a continuation of that.
Yeah. Julie J says commentary was funny, made me laugh. It made me go friggin' insane. I couldn't find the live game on the Newcastle YouTube page. It wasn't on. It was cancelled on the YouTube page. It was actually on their official website. David says Maxi on backside throwing hands in the air. Nothing changes. I've seen a few people getting annoyed about that.
I think he's a really talented player. He creates a lot. It's just those traits. It's just that's frustrating for me. And like I said, we were having a discussion in the group chat about it, and I don't take any of his talent and his creation away from him. Like I don't, but it's just frustrating when you like I said, when you go down and none of your own team react.
Well,
not one of them.
Did you not hear when he was down? One of the times, somebody in a very, very strong English voice told him to get up. Which I believe came from the either one of the fans, but I'm sure it was one of the bench. But look,
it's just got to put up with it, haven't we?
Yeah, as Alex said before, this is who Maxi is. So we either put up or we shut up. To be honest, because this is who he is.
A little bit lost. I think he was a little bit lost without Joe Linton there as well.
Yeah, but he didn't have the talent. If Maxi was on the pitch and that's after 60 minutes there. It would have been a totally different kettle of fish, I think, for Maxi because he's playing with so much better quality.
That's another one. I would have preferred to have seen Maxi second half. Yeah, I think it was a funny way around for me. I would have preferred Pope, Maxi, and Wilson all in that final half an hour. We probably would have seen a bit more.
We might hopefully we'll see that in the future games, though. Maybe they're just mixing things up and they'll try something completely different on Monday.
Well, he may, as time goes on towards the start of the season, especially the games at St James's Park, we may see either on the Friday or the Saturday the starting 11 for the Forest game. Just to give the starting 11 a run out and a game, just to get used to everybody. So I think although we can say this about certain players, I think we pretty much know at the minute the majority of who are going to start against Forest as the squad stands at the moment. Of course, that can be can change with any signings before kickoff in the Premier League, of course. But you know, there was some good performances there very early doors. You know, I think certainly Matty Targett looks comfortable left back. I think
he's just picked up where he left off, hasn't he? I think
Yeah.
he's just reliable. Exactly what we were seeing at the end of last season. So delighted for him that he's just carried that on. I thought Kraft did well. Yeah, I think there was quite a few players that had a good first half, but then there was players that, you know, the usual names that didn't. So
well, Alex, you made a good point through the first half when you talked about Kraft having to cover for Lascelles. And how many times did we say that last season when you know, Emil Kraft played and everybody's saying, oh, he's getting dragged in, including myself, until I realised, well, he's covering for our, you know, supposed captain who's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, Kraft got caught a little bit out of position. He got skinned, and then Lascelles struggled to recover, and Byrne had to clean up a lot of messes. And it's not just Kraft either. We've also talked about Cher and Kraft constantly over the past 12 months have had to have an additional thing to consider, and that is, where is Lascelles? And it's frustrating because when Cher's playing with Byrne and Byrne's there for Kraft as well, they don't have to think about that. It's when Lascelles, and even more Dubravka as well. Whenever Lascelles is playing, even Dubravka doesn't know where the ball's going. Nobody listens to his shouts. So this is three players that seem negatively affected when their own captain's on the pitch, because they're having to think about, oh God, is he in the right place? And Kraft was trying so hard to be up on that midfield line, to be an outlet. Lascelles couldn't hit a pass to him. And then if he was messing up or fouling, Kraft was caught too high up the pitch. They were taking quick free kicks, and it was a mess. It was just an absolute mess. I just, so many times I just keep thinking, oh, I really want Lascelles to do okay because it's our captain. He's given us so much, but we can
and
just so much.
That's just defensively from the offensive point of view as well. That's disgraceful.
But he didn't the things that we normally consider him to be good at, which is blocks, clearances, being strong. He was terrible. He gave away four fouls. He couldn't beat his striker to an aerial duel. He got carded. He won early on. He won a header at the back post from a corner. It's the only thing I saw him do right all day. Nothing else.
He's terrible bringing the ball out as well. He just can't.
He's like
once he missed a few passes, he just kept giving it to Byrne. Like, he tried like two. He was like, "Nah, I give up. Just let Byrne do it."
Yeah. Apparently, we have made an inquiry for Tielemans, and Dan Byrne is shocked at Botman's signing today, according to Newcastle United official TV.
What?
We're not even going to go into that channel because they shouldn't even be on
He's
YouTube.
Shocked. But we've been trying to sign him for like 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
He's also shocked that Alan Shearer's our record goal scorer, by the way, as well.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Alan Shearer played for you. Really? For the other American viewers, it was live on ESPN Plus. Hopefully, the next few preseason friendlies will be on there too. I was watching on NUFC from the US. Afternoon, Stu. Is Monday's game on YouTube? Well, probably not.
We don't know.
Well, we don't know because, you know, it's. We'll probably get an announcement on that, I would think, in due course, because I think
it's in a different stadium, isn't it?
Fans. It is, yeah. But
it is free on the NUFC fans TV also, so NUFC TV. So
yeah,
you haven't got.
We will do. I'll do a watch along. Why not? Good. Bring the watch along in. The YouTube issue, what a farce. Yeah, I mean, at least give us an explanation as to why it was decided so late to take the game off YouTube. I don't understand that. I really don't. If you're going to broadcast it and say it's broadcast on YouTube, and why wait so late? And if it's a legitimate reason why you've had to take it off YouTube, then let the fans know. Just say, look, this is the reason we can't broadcast on YouTube. However, it is still available on the main website. Just give people a reason. Darren says, I was watching in Singapore, just used a VPN. Yep.
Good stuff.
I just used the web browser on my FireCube and just screened it on the telly. Did ESPN have the same commentator? God, I hope not. Jesus Christ. Gary says commentary was awful, and names he was saying was a bit weird, and calling Dubravka was getting called Nick Pope. Botman was really good, solid. Yeah. absolutely. Obviously, the likes of Botman looked real quality.
Looked a different level.
Yeah, he did. And, this is the difference when you look at somebody like Jamal Lascelles to Sven Botman. And you kind of think, well, this is where Newcastle United are going, Billy. This is the kind of players that we are going to start bringing into this football club. And, absolute miles away from the ability of Jamal Lascelles.
Yeah, and even the rest of the centre halves we've got in the squad, he looks levels with them too. He looks a real fantastic defender. But it's the ability he's got to ping a ball that's another added bonus. He just looks a real player.
Yeah,
and the price we paid for him looks on that one friendly, I know, but quality of that kind of player, 40, 50 million quid, no danger.
Did you see who got the captain's armband when he went off?
No, I didn't notice.
I didn't look actually.
No, I don't know. Was it Callum Wilson?
Yes, it was. It was Callum Wilson, and then I'm not sure who got it after they made the big change. I didn't see who got the armband after
weird.
that.
Was Shelby still on when they did the Lascelles Botman sub?
Yes.
So he didn't give it to Shelby?
No.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But I didn't see who actually got it when they made the big change and they changed the whole team. Which, you know what it is? I think Callum Wilson may well be the vice captain next season. But then again, Trippier wasn't on the pitch, so we don't know.
Surely Jamal Lascelles cannot be the captain. He cannot be. Like, how many games is he going to? How many games is he going to play?
Remember, Brian Kilcline was captain in the first season of the Premiership. I think it's hardly played.
I just think it's a cop out. Just grow some balls.
But Bournemouth did this a couple of years ago. It wasn't. Who was the captain? I've forgotten his name. Oh, I'm so sorry,
Steve
Bournemouth
Cook.
fans.
Steve Cook.
Was he the captain? Was it? No, I'm not sure. It was him.
Francis.
He was out for like 18 months, but they kept him. They kept him with the
armband.
I think he.
Give me 1 second.
I think he left. He was injured for a very long time, like over a year, and then he was leaving at the end of the season anyway when he came back. But they kept him as captain for the whole time. But so they never had their real captain ever on the pitch.
Yeah, they're saying he's club captain, isn't he?
Just weird to me. I just think it's weird to me.
There's no way he'll be in the starting lineup for Forest. No way. Not with the players we've got available.
I'm not sure I want him in the 25, to be honest. Never mind the starting 11.
Well, yeah. I mean, hopefully be sold before then. But I don't think he's going to be sold. I have a
I don't either.
That, he's going to be sticking around. But
I feel like he's going to cost us points on his own.
Yeah, I agree. Sean Longstaff, what an awesome rocket goal. What a hit that was, by the way.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
That reminded me of old school Sean Longstaff, who I thought did all right when he was on the pitch today. And scored. That was an absolute belter, Danielle.
It was absolutely amazing. Like, I didn't expect it at all. And I was like, bloody Longstaff, where's that come from? But it's great to see. Happy for him. I think he's fighting for his place. I think he absolutely is, and good for him. Will he get his place? I don't know. Obviously, I thought Shelby had a great game today. Obviously, Bruno ruled the show when he came on. Big Joe, for obvious reasons. If we bring in someone like Paqueta, where does that leave Sean Longstaff? I don't know, but what a great goal. Really happy for him. And hopefully he goes out, he stays with the club. I'm not sure Matty will. I think Matty might go out on loan again. But definitely Sean, what a goal. What a goal.
What did you think of Joe Willock? Because Shaz, well, our new midfielder Will Lock, of course, according to the commentator. Joe Willock was unreal today, says this comment from Chaz XJ. I don't think he was unreal.
Scored one, should have scored 2 or 3.
Yeah,
was in the game more than he usually is. Looked like he was injured at one point. Looked a pretty nasty one as well. It was okay. He was a 6-7 out of 10. Nothing special, but definitely not awful.
Look, for me, it's just I'm really pleased that we've got kind of depth in the midfield now, and if we did bring in Paqueta, I think it would be just incredible the depth we'd have in the midfield. Because if Eddie can get a tune out to Sean Longstaff, and I thought he was okay today. There was still a few times he got the ball and then passed it back when I thought, no, just go forward with it. Trust yourself. But, he did get forward and obviously scored that belting goal. I mean, what a hit it was. And that's what we want to see from Sean Longstaff, and that's what he's capable of doing. But it's definitely good, Billy, seeing the depth we've got in midfield.
It definitely is, because let's be honest, the first half we didn't compete as much in midfield as what we did when Bruno and Joe Linton came on. Because when they came on, the midfield was ours. They took control of it, and that's why we won the game so easy. But there is depth there without shadow of a doubt. Shalvey looked very comfortable at one point as well, with a massive, really high, energetic press, which I was really impressed with. So yeah, none of them are poor players. They're all really good players, and 3 from those 5 or 6, it's horses for courses, and I think we're going to be strong in midfield this year.
I agree.
Yep. Abdullah says, hi, mates from the Ukraine. I'm an old fan from Syria. So glad that finally St. James Park will soon bring back Euro flavour. Well, thank you very much, and I hope you're keeping safe out there in the Ukraine. Tracy says, what was the score in the end? It was 3-0, Tracy. Steve says, yes, Paul, please do a watch along just in case it's the same idiot.
Can you imagine?
Malcolm says, watched from New Zealand, no problem apart from poor commentary. I watched on some dodgy YouTube stream. I had no idea it was on the NUFC website. Just couldn't find it on the official page. Jim loved Longstaff's goal. I didn't hear any commentary in the second half on the stream I was watching. I think he got sacked at half time.
Look at you.
I mean, look, it was disastrous, and it didn't make for great entertainment. When you've got a commentator who doesn't have a clue who he's talking about, and then every single player he mentioned, he goes into the history of that player. You know, it drives you wild. And like you said before, Alex, you want the commentator to talk about formation and what they expect from the team, and where certain players are playing, and certain substitutes come on, announce it straight away, and or Sven Botman's replacing Lascelles for his Newcastle United debut. I know it's not official debut, but it's his debut. It was just rubbish from the off. Jabba Dabba thank you for your £5 super chat. He says, I got all my tickets for both home games, and we should sing Paqueta. Oh, God. Bandar says, Daniel Marlin, brilliant striker, and he can play as a winger. Yeah, he's been mentioned a few times as being possibly available in the future, but not at the minute. I think he's at Dortmund, isn't he, at the minute?
Yeah, rapid, very rapid.
I don't think Dortmund are in any need to, or any hurry to let him go. Signed him a few times on FIFA over the years. Did really well. Rapid isn't the word.
Can I mention? Can we go back to Longstaff for 1 second, Paul? By the way,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Do you guys remember when we dropped him in a transfer show just to talk about? I think it was when he'd signed that contract, just to have a little chat about maybe why he'd signed it and what Eddie Howe was seeing.
Yeah.
So this is something the commentator could have said, but he was too busy reading Wikipedia instead of doing football notes. So Sean Longstaff has shot up to 26.25 pressures per 90, which is in the 96th percentile over the last 12 months. So he is in the top 4% in European Big 5 leagues for presses. And he's also in the 87th percentile for tackles. So he is aware, and he is an absolute bulldozer running around. So now he's a bit fitter, and he knows a bit more of what his job is. He's been with the team for a while. His stats are creeping. His passing stats are still not great, because it's obviously back ending some of his poor performances in with it. So it'll take time for his profiles to sort of balance out a bit, but his passing's improving, and the fact that he's giving 26 pressures per 90 from midfield is integral.
He does look a bit fitter, doesn't he? He does look like he's sort of, and he made a few sprints today for the ball, and a couple of times down the right hand side. I think he made some balls were played through, and he didn't give up on them even in pre-season. And he looked a bit more sharp, I have to say, which can only benefit us, because if we get the old Sean Longstaff back, if Eddie can get that player back, Danielle, that was linked with Man United all those many moons ago, we've got a player.
I think we've got a new one.
Absolutely. And it just shows you how much he kind of went backwards when Bruce was in charge, and now Eddie's getting into him, just like he has with Emil Kraft, with Big Joe, etc. And he's making those improvements. So yeah, absolutely. If he can really get his head down on the training pitch, we could see the old, even more improved Sean Longstaff, which is what we all want to see.
But wasn't it nice, just a general point, to see all the players looking leaner than what they did last season?
Yeah.
Last year.
Billy, it's night and day. It's absolute night and day. I mean, we're talking, the first serious preseason game. I know we've played Gateshead, but that was all behind closed doors. This was the first one of the tour, etc. And I look back to when I went to see them against Burton Albion for the final preseason game last year.
Yeah.
Well, I know we played Norwich, I think, at home after that, didn't we? But looking at the Burton game, of how we were just looking at each other, all the fans thinking, we just don't look fit. We look tired already. They don't look interested. Yet you watch that today, and they were interested. I mean, there was some little niggles going on during the game as well. We those players were sent out to win the game. There's no doubt about that. And, this is the difference. Eddie Howe's gone and put those players out and said, look, we still want to put, this might be pre-season, but we want to perform. Yes, fitness is important, but we still want to perform. And that's the difference. It's night and day. Gary Hannand, thank you very much for your 50 quid super chat, mate. That is very, very kind. Thank you so much. He says, according to Global Esporte, Alex, do you want to say Global Esporte in the kind of accent?
I don't know where it's from. Global Esporte? Is it Spanish, Italian?
Well, it's Brazilian, so I would imagine, yes.
Brazilian.
So Portuguese. According to Global Esporte, Newcastle United are interested in signing Angelo Gabriel from Santos. The 17-year-old wouldn't be able to move to England until next year after he turns 18, but it seems as though his destination could be St. James's Park.
Fantastic.
Have we covered him, Alex?
He's amazing. So good.
Yeah.
I've put this on Twitter. I'm just going to say this for people who haven't seen that show yet. I'll link it after this ends. I will link the transfer show we did on him in the comments, or unless Paul can remember which one it was. He's 17 and he's got 70 senior appearances for Santos.
Crazy.
70.
Wow. That's
Ridiculous.
impressive.
He's so good.
So when does he turn 18? When can we have him?
Well, he'd probably stay in Santos for a year, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it just says it all. Mawson says, we ignored the President of the United States visit to Saudi Arabia to watch the game. Wow. You can imagine the President expecting all these sort of people to and you get off the plane and go, hey, does anybody know I'm coming? And then they'll turn around and
Listen, he probably doesn't know himself.
Well, no, he doesn't even know where he is half the time anyway. But, no, nobody's here. They're all watching Newcastle United. Quality. Lascelles, just as usual. Self, says Andrew. Botman looked fantastic. Botman showed composure on the ball. Wow. George Hayes, thank you for your $56.10. Really appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much, George. He says, pre-season good run out, lower league German opposition. We need some more options up front, still plenty of time to sign. Yeah. And that's the thing, isn't it? We just haven't got to panic. We're in a good place. Let's just stay in that good place. Abigail says you could see that Botman was on a different level. His passing was beautiful. I mean, he pinged one over to Maxi. What a pass that was, by the way.
Beautiful.
And then I think he hit one again in the second half out to Miggy on the other side. Just, it might have been Trippier, but it was beautifully hit. But there you go.
He's definitely a better passer than Burn, for sure.
Yeah.
Like I know we love Burn, but Burn can't do that. Some of those passes were ridiculous.
And he's certainly better than Jamal.
It's Champions League quality. It's basically like when we watched Bruno and we were talking about, wow, this guy's definitely, Botman feels like that, but defender. Just looks like Champions League quality already.
Yeah. Can Paul do the commentary for the next friendlies? Yeah, I'll do the one on Monday. If they're on if the home ones are on the website and stuff like that, we'll get Billy to commentate on them ones as well. So again, as you know, Billy's doing the home games this year and I'll be doing the away ones. Munoz has 6 months left on loan. If he scores 5 to 6 goals next month, he can be number 3 in attack in my eyes. In Mexico, he shows high level, same tournament that Ekitike played in. We saw Munoz, of course, when we did the watch along looking at Ekitike for 4 minutes. And he looked all right, I thought, Munoz. He had a bit of nasty about him, didn't he? And those are the kind of players that I guess we shouldn't really forget, because eventually somebody has to come through. surely, from the academy. Somebody's got to come
That's
through.
a long-term goal, is it not?
Mm-hmm. You would have thought. You would have thought.
Oh, and people keep getting confused as well. We've got him on loan with an option. He's from Santos in Mexico, not from the Brazilian Santos. A lot of people keep getting confused. It's not the same places because people keep saying, "Oh, he needs to pop the word in for Angelo Gabriel." Not the same team. One's in Mexico.
Yeah. Darren says he named out Willock's family members for some reason during the commentary. Yes, he did. I mean, every single time he started talking about he called them 1860 Munchen, 1860 Munich, Munchen 1860, Munchen even at one stage he called them Munchen. Who at goddamn's earth is Munchen?
And he also said 1860 Munich, who are celebrating their 162nd anniversary this year. No shit.
That Billy is called good mathematics. Good mathematics. Good mathematics.
Shit, Willock.
Yeah, Jesus, honestly, unbelievable. Ian says first half is where we've come from, second half is where we're going.
Exactly.
That's not a bad analogy.
Cambridge vibes about that first half.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Hi, hope all is well on a hot day. Hit those likes, help the channel. It ain't hot in the northeast today, unfortunately. Well, actually, it's still a bit muggy. I'm sweating here, but me little USB fan's packed up on me, by the way.
Compared to what's coming.
Oh, the next 4 days. 24, I think, 27, 29, 32 or something like that. I read on the weather. It's going to be a hot one. And then you guys down south, I mean, Jesus.
I'm 23, apparently.
Red warning for Monday and Tuesday. Our shift patterns have changed. We're doing 6 till 2s Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah. Just see, bloody hell. You'll still catch the sort of midday heat in the factory, Billy, for a couple of hours. But I guess at least you'll have the rest of the afternoon to, get those budgie smugglers on and get the pool out in the garden, Billy.
38 on Monday, but I'm sure you'll be the same in Coventry.
Yeah.
Jeez,
38?
Yeah, well, it's got to be about 32 to 34 beer, Danielle.
Christ on a bike.
I think I'll just be, I'll just sit in the bathtub all day with a cold shower on us. Honestly, God, it's going to be awful. Ken says, can anyone tell me how Joe Linton played?
Very well.
A beast.
Yeah, he did really well.
Beast
I loved. There was a bit in the second half when the ball went up the left-hand side, and you can remember. I don't know if you can remember. Joe Linton was on the byline, and he had a defender absolutely all over him, but he held him off 3 times and then played a ball right across the other side of the field to Trippier. I thought it was brilliant, and that's just what we can expect from Joe Linton this season. And that's what I mean about his newfound aggression. He was fighting to hang on to the ball. He wasn't going to lose it. And I'm really, really excited at what we can do. Certainly as a midfield unit this season.
And that kit does not emphasise his physique, doesn't it?
I know.
Riley.
Flipping hell.
I mean, I imagine he'd find Sandy Matthews' shorts tight, I'm sure.
Yeah. But listen,
he's definitely 5 stone. 5 kilos. He's a lot heavier than he was at the end of the season. And I don't know if it's intended, but
that's not a bad thing. I think he looks. I think what's happened is, and this is just my opinion, I don't know whether this is the case at all, but I think with him moving into midfield, he might feel like he needs to bulk up on his strength and his core strength to hold up the ball and things like that. And I think, with the work of the backroom staff, he's done exactly that and bulked himself up for that position. Rather than being this sort of leaner winger, sort of left-sided forward, if you like, that he was at Hoffenheim. Yeah. I think now he's found this position. He's thought, right, I'm turning into the goddamn Hulk here.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like his groin's a problem either anymore. No. We discussed whether he would maybe need surgery, and that doesn't seem like that was necessary. He seems to be fine, so that's very positive.
It might help him if he wants to play up front as well. Let's be honest. If ever the case arises where he plays up front, looking like that and holding things up, you never know, do you? It could happen, couldn't it?
Don't.
I mean, look, God, it's come a long way when we're actually saying we wouldn't mind if Joe Linton went up front. I mean, Jesus, how times have changed dramatically.
Wow. He can hold the ball better than Chris Wood. Exactly.
Oh, 100%. I mean, look, Alex, what do we do with Chris Wood? What do we do with him?
Leave him off the bus.
No, well, apart from that, I mean...
Drive off quickly.
I mean, we've already mentioned it. It'll be fine, purely based on the quality around him. But there are just certain situations, and you've already talked about it, that Callum Wilson was fine at running into the channels and trying to spin his man, and as can most of these other players in attack. Whereas Chris Wood, as soon as he gets into a channel, he can't do a lot with it. As soon as he's got to try it, if he receives a quick ball to feet, he loses it. When he does win his aerial duels, a lot of the time the balls don't go to our team anyway. We don't retain the possession. He's not directly useful in set pieces. We typically use Burn anyway off the set pieces. He does a bit, but I'd say he does a bit, and I think he'll just be fine. He'll float along. He'll make appearances, and it will look okay. Like he did today, he got his assist, and he looked all right purely because he was just getting a lot of help, and looking all right. That's very generous of me, to be fair.
Ken's put a comment in here which I simply do not and cannot understand for the life of me. So much so that I'm going to put it on the screen, but I'm not reading it out because it's just. Would anyone like to comment on that?
No, let's move on from that. I just don't give it our time.
Miggy was outstanding. Howe, man. Look, it's people's opinions. All right, you can disagree. Look, we disagree with each other, so it doesn't matter. It's all about opinions. Chris says, get a striker before Wilson gets injured, or prices will go up 20%. I think prices are already, prices are already up.
Well inflated, aren't they? So yeah.
Daz from Loaded's in. Afternoon, all. Happy birthday, Billy from Daz.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, Daz. Hope you're well, mate. Miggy did show a lot of intention to get in behind and affected the game well. Outstanding, though. Not for me. Okay, fair enough. By the way, if you go and subscribe to Loaded Mag NUFC in collab with them, great channel there, and the link is down below in the description or description. Munoz can be number 3 striker, and maybe push Wood in the future to be second striker. I hope we sign Munoz and loan him out of the Championship, or to be number 3 striker this season. Mitro is 1 billion times better than the New Zealand striker. Mitro said he's a Toon fan. Look, I think we just need to let that ship sail.
I don't want him, but Mitrovic is massively better than Chris Wood.
Oh,
miles better.
Oh, well,
look, I think we all know that.
We could make other comparisons that are better than Chris Wood.
Yeah. By the way, Kevin says forget Isak, and I think I agree, because I found out today that his clause is 76 million. Now we thought that we were on about 60 odd million the other day, thinking no way will we pay that.
Have a day off.
Yeah, and apparently Newcastle had I think it offered 50 million straight up, and they'd refused. So look, whatever the bid was, 76 million is his release clause. There is no way on hell's planet that guy is worth 76 million pounds as it stands. Yes.
Yeah, they've told us release clause or go fish, basically.
Yes.
76 million, Christ alive.
Yeah, but you never know. If they need money at the end of the window, they might, and we're still struggling and we haven't found someone. You never know. Depends what happens. If they buy someone.
But again, it's like Billy said earlier on this week, when we were talking about the deadline day and stuff like that, that clubs will be involved in deadline day, including us, because, there might be just that one deal that comes along that you can just get done really quickly, and somebody that's maybe been in the pipeline for a while, or maybe has just come to fruition that day. You just don't know what's going to happen.
I'm hoping that our business is done by deadline day, but I hope that we'll get a nice surprise on deadline day.
Yeah, but you always get that one, don't you?
That's what I mean. Like, I want to be kind of happy and content by deadline day that we've got what we need, and that we've got our winger and we've got our striker. But we might get a little surprise on deadline day, hopefully, unlike last deadline day when we were, chasing helicopters and all kinds last deadline day, if you all remember. Christ.
As for Isaac, I think Emmanuel Dennis at a quarter of the price is much better value.
I probably agree with that, yeah. I'm not sure what Mark was talking about. Newcastle will not pay over £40 million for a player. Richest owners in the world, you're out of your heads.
Have you, Margot? Been on the phone to Mandy, have you?
That's fact. And by
they are fact, but also we paid, I think the fee for Bruno in total, when everything's done, is about 45 million.
But how do people know? How do people know what we will and what we won't?
Well, because Marco's one of these know-it-all people, isn't he? You know, you have to, you know, he's obviously one of these in the know people who knows everything and knows exactly what's in Newcastle's bank accounts and knows exactly what players we're going after. Exactly. Work done for the day, so you have my undivided attention. The weekend is here. Thank you, Rachel. Don't forget, 8 o'clock tonight is TTR Friday. We've got Danielle's rant, we've got Billy's beef, and we've also got Shamed by Stato. And we have a jingle for that now. So I have worked on something this morning with that one. So that will be played tonight as well. For now, though, we've come to the end of the review. It's good to get a match review back again. It feels a bit strange talking about a match review.
We missed one player.
Go for it.
Got to say,
go for
it. Did it really well. Well done, Paul Dummett.
Actually, yes. I was going to say Dummett earlier on, and then I forgot. But you're right.
Every time he received the ball, forwards all the time. Was switched on, was progressive. If he can stay fit, lovely backup to have because he wears the shirt with pride and he's not too bad. He's been a very good servant. So
yeah. It's certainly nice having these backups now, though, isn't it? It really is. And growing, seeing the squad grow and being excited, seeing those players come on after 60 minutes and just look, we destroyed Munich that last half an hour. We absolutely pummeled them. They didn't know what hit them. You know, 1 minute they're playing against a Newcastle United side that they would have thought, wow, you know, this is a Premier League side and we're holding them 0-0 at half time and et cetera, et cetera. And then they see a totally different team come on after an hour and absolutely blow them out the water. And it's exciting. It really is to see what good players we've got now and what good players we could bring in the very, very short future. So before the window closes, but we shall see. But if you have enjoyed today's show, guys, as usual, please hit that like button and let YouTube know that something great is happening on this channel. Also, if you're new, press the subscribe button, free to do so, and make sure you hit the notification bell where you'll be notified when we upload or we go live. Thank you so much to everybody that's donated to the channel today. Honestly, your generosity blows us away every single show. Thank you so much. And don't forget, we'll be back 8 o'clock tonight with TTR Friday. Start your weekend with a good laugh. We'll have a rant about stuff. We'll have a laugh about stuff about Newcastle. And, of course, I will be trying brown ale for the first time in my life live on the show to celebrate Billy Trey's birthday. I am fecking dreading it because I don't know how I'm going to react to it. I'm getting told it's lovely. Do I put it in the fridge, Billy, before nice and cold? Yes,
absolutely.
Right.
I'll go get some as well.
Right, yeah, I'm off to get it shortly, and it's the first time I've had it, and it'll be live on the show. So TTR Friday is the best way to start your weekend with a laugh, and you know we'll have our rants and our beefs and all that kind of stuff, and then but we can't do without you guys as well. So you know, get on and have your say on stuff as well, and any news that's cropped up about Newcastle United over the last week, not necessarily about transfers. Any other news and stuff like that, we will cover. So thank you guys for joining me. Thank you three. And thank you to the mods that have been in the background today. And we'll see you all tonight at 8 o'clock. Take care, everybody.
See you later.
How are the lads?